More of the Zach Gelb Show on Fox Sports 920, The Jersey.
Welcome back in from the Princeton Orthopedic Associates studios. This is the Zach Gelb Show. Time right now in our studios, 5:17. When we were at the Super Bowl, we covered a little bit of National Signing Day, but now joining us on the hotline to recap National Signing Day and talk about the future of Temple football is their new head coach, and that is Geoff Collins, who's kind enough to hop on board with us right now. Coach Zach Gelb, great to talk to you again, and how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, I'm doing great. Can't complain. So you guys had National Signing Day. Just tell me a little bit about this class that you brought in for the new Cherry and White Owls.
Sure. Yeah, the big thing we were looking for was, a lot of length, a lot of speed, and guys that fit into who we are as a coaching staff and had position flexibility. So those are the big key, talking points as we went out on the road and as we brought kids in on official visits, just to make sure they meshed with our players, made sure they were one of us. That was a big deal when they got around our guys. And, a lot of the guys that were already on board fit into that mold. There were a couple that didn't. And, so we just made sure they knew that it'd probably be better for them to go somewhere else. And, it was no hard feelings, but we just want to make sure the guys that we signed fit into our culture. And then we made sure that we saved some scholarships, for some guys that are going to be coming down the pike, before camp starts. And so we were systematic in how we approached that. Didn't want to just take some guys, just late just to take guys. So we got some guys that we're excited about coming forward that obviously I can't talk about right now.
Coach, a few years ago, this was a tough program to sell, but Matt did a great job and got this program into a lot of national spotlight and a lot of exposure with College Game Day, and then last year with it culminating with that American Athletic Conference championship. What are parents now saying about the state of Temple football when you talk to them about it? I have to imagine there's a more higher level of interest than a few years ago.
Absolutely. We're talking to kids right now for this 2018 class, about joining this program and, scholarship offers and those kind of things. And, they're excited. That in the state of Pennsylvania college football, Temple University is now considered part of the Big Three, which I don't know if that was even a topic of conversation 20 years ago. But now we go to the Pennsylvania State Coaches Association, and it's Temple, it's Penn State, it's Pitt are the three schools that get top billing and an equal share of all of the speaking engagements. And, again, I don't know if that would have happened 20 years ago, but back-to-back 10-win seasons, back-to-back Eastern Division championships, obviously, again, like you said, winning the conference, and being on a national stage as a top 20 program back-to-back years, puts us in the forefront, of these high school recruits' minds. And it doesn't hurt that we play in the link. It doesn't hurt that we got nice Under Armour uniforms, nice Under Armour gear, and great education, a great, city to sell to these guys.
And I know that you're all about the juice, and you hit the ground running right when you got the job. And we had you on the day that you were introduced as the new Temple head football coach, and you told me what your recruiting pitch was. But now just being here for a little bit, a few months, and really understanding what Temple University is, what is that pitch now since you've got a better understanding of what Temple football is all about?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, the same thing I just said, being a top 20 program, being in a great conference, being in the fourth largest media market in the country. But the thing that I didn't know then when I first got introduced was how awesome the people are involved in this program. Our players are amazing. They work hard. They have great attitudes. They love being around each other. They love competing. The administration and the staff are completely behind this football program. They have visions of us being a top 20, top 10 football program year in and year out, and they're fully committed to making sure these kids earn their degrees, have a great experience in college, and those little details I didn't know when I first took the job. And now that I'm getting around these kids and getting around the academic staff, the support staff, and what a great group of talented individuals that are also really, really good people. It just makes coming to work every day a pleasure, getting to work and getting to be a part of such a great institution and a great program.
Coach Collins with us right now on the Zach Gelb Show, Fox Sports 920, the Jersey. You hired a lot of new coaches. We were able to retain some from the previous staff of Matt Rule's. Now, what a lot of people are going to look at is the defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator. Tell me a little bit about Coach Johnson and also Coach Dave Pattenude.
Sure. Well, Coach Pattenude and I go back, almost 20 years to Fordham University. I was a lowly graduate assistant. He was a rising star in the profession as a young full-time coach. And then everywhere he's been as a play caller, he's just done an amazing job. And most recently, the job he did at Coastal Carolina, setting records for 5 straight years, winning championships, going to the playoffs. And then last year he went through 7 quarterbacks and still set records and broke records. So I think, his prowess as an offensive play caller, a guy that has run an offense for over half of his career is huge. And I think Coach Johnson, Taver, just realizing the great places that he's been, the great systems that he's been involved with, but to a person, everybody that I talked to as I was researching him, what a great human being he is, how he puts the players first. He's open-minded, not ego-driven. He wants what's best for the program, best for the kids. And, with my defensive background, I think he's a perfect fit for what we want to do in this program defensively, to build off of the success we've had here, and then, pair it with the success that I've had, last 6 years as a coordinator in the SEC.
Just following up on that, and obviously you bring in people that you trust and are bright minds. Your background, as you mentioned, was defensively. We all know that with the Minister of Mayhem. How difficult is it to delegate? Because when you're a first-year head coach, you kind of learn that a little bit on the job, I'd have to imagine, about delegating defensively in terms of responsibilities.
Sure. Well, the interesting thing is today's the first day I've gotten to even watch any film with the defensive staff since I got hired. But I've got some guys. Jimmy Panagos and I were together at Central Florida. Andrew Thacker and I were together at Central Florida. I brought my defensive GA from the University of Florida here, so he's able to translate a lot of things when I'm not in the room. And then we hired Corey Robinson, who was just named one of the top 30 coaches under 30 in all of college football. So that little mix of, even when I'm not in the room, I know there's people I can trust. I know there's people that understand how I like things done defensively. And then I've got enough guys that have been at some great places that are able to add their flavor and their juice to the scheme and to the philosophy. And, I think it's going to be a great matchup.
Even though your background's with defense and we know Dave's going to call the plays, you still need to have your creative spin on the offense because you're still in charge of the timeouts and, if you want to run the ball late in the game. We saw that in the Super Bowl this year, how Dan Quinn still takes a lot of the flack of that. How do you still put your touches on the offense as the head coach?
Right. Well, the big, they call it Collins' dirty dozen. So I've got 12 formations that I've put in, and I've told Coach Patton these are 12 formations, and packages out of them that I feel strongly about. They're excited because they know as a defensive coach, those 12 things are things that give defenses trouble. So they're excited about doing those things. But the other thing, I don't even think this has gotten out there yet. Even though I'm the head coach, I'm coaching the fullbacks. So I get to coach Sharga on a daily basis. And, that's kind of a two-headed thing because great player, he's a tough guy, but he also has the highest GPA on the team. So I can look around the staff meeting rooms and let them know that my position is get it done academically. And, everybody else, this is the standard of how we do academics per our position in this program. And if the head coach's position is having a 3.8, 3.9, then, the other guys need to get their positions to elevate their game as well. So we've had fun with it. And, Shark is such a great kid. And it'll be an honor to work with him and Coach Lucas, who's our running backs coach as well.
We're wrapping up with Geoff Collins, who joins us right now. The schedule came out, and right now you're getting ready for Notre Dame, and you also have Navy, Houston, USF, and that American Athletic Conference schedule this year. I know that you're in the process of getting the guys ready for the season. There's still a lot of work to do. but it seems like you have developed a good sense of trust with your players, and that's always important when a new guy comes in after when the other guy was very popular, and I know that you were very friendly with Matt. It seems like that trust, and there's a lot of people and a lot of players that are buying into your system, and I saw you guys had a nice little fun day the other day during the snow day, so it seems like everything's all happy right now on 10th and Diamond.
Yeah, and the big thing is, these kids work, they're tough, they're physical, they don't mind spending long hours. So I think anytime that you have a bonding moment or two, just to let them know that you really care about them, and you put, them ahead of anything else. I think those learning moments that happen early are huge to build trust. We have a sign on every coach's room as they leave the door. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So the first and foremost thing that we got to make sure these kids know, we're here for them, we love them, we care about them, we're going to coach them hard, we're going to push them, we're going to set high standards on a daily basis. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, there's people on the sidelines, there's people in this football building that love them, that value them, that care about them, and want to see them be successful in every phase of their life, not just on the football field. And I think those kind of things are what make college football special. They help build lifelong relationships. And at the end of the day, that's what we want to do, is make sure everybody involved in our program has a great experience. And obviously win a lot of games, but play tough, physical football with guys that you love, care about, and want to do it together.
And I'll tell you, the big news today about your program has been the swag coordinator, Dave Gerson. How about this swag coordinator? Tell me a little bit about the position.
So I thought that, when I came up with the title, I thought that little part was going to be revealed later on. I didn't know it was going to be so obvious that people were going to pick up on it immediately. But, the big thing is just making sure people have access to our program in creative ways, whether it be through our graphics, whether it be through social media, whether it be through the videos that we do, or the great people over at our Temple University, multimedia department do. So that's just a little, added fun, that, even though we're going to have fun and have a glimpse into our program and our personality, that doesn't have anything to do with us being, we're going to be a tough football program. We're going to be physical. We're going to impose our will when we need to, but when it's time to, bond with each other and have fun, we're going to do that. And just the snow day party we had last week, and let people see that. Let people see that we truly do care about each other and we truly are a family, and let people have access and see that we've got something special going here, a top 20 program, back-to-back East champions, and that, we're willing to work together and fight together, but we're going to have fun together, too, when the time is right.
Coach, I'll be honest with you. I went to school with Dave Gerson when I was a undergrad at Temple,
He's
and
the best.
I was in the same fraternity as him. I don't know one has more passion for Temple football than him, but I never thought of Dave Gerson as someone with a lot of swag, Coach.
I think he's just, I might be rubbing off on him, and then he's just kind of taking my personality, and he knows how graphically and creatively I like things done, and so we're just having a lot of fun with it, and he's taking the vision that we have for this program and letting people see it in a new and fresh way, and, I think that people appreciate, what the work that he's been doing and will continue to do.
Well, last thing for you, Coach, before we let Coach Geoff Collins run, because I know you got to go, and it seems like you could also use a few hours of sleep, Coach. You sound a little bit tired today, but you've been all over the place ever since you took the job. You met Coach Chaney. You've been to Flyers games, Sixers games, but one thing I'm actually a little bit annoyed with you about is that you went on the cheesesteak tour, and I don't think you've been to D'Alessandro's or Mama's yet. You got to get to those two places because they're the best cheesesteaks.
I've been.
You've been to D'Alessandro's. How about Mama's?
Yes, absolutely. And it's actually on the way out to my wife and I's new house.
Okay.
There's a D'Alessandro's right on the way. So, and I don't think everybody asks what my favorite cheesesteak is. And to be honest with you, I haven't had a bad one yet.
Well, you got to go to this place, Mama's, because you're a big guy like myself. There is no bigger and better cheesesteak than Mama's in Bala Cynwyd.
You got it.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. You're the man.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. There's Coach Geoff Collins joining us on the Zach Gelb Show, Fox Sports 920 The Jersey. I think Dave Gerson actually, because I know him, he was in my fraternity, and we always talked about Temple football. when I was a freshman and sophomore at Temple University. I think he started blogging, actually, about Temple football and did some type of website that way. And then eventually, I want to say it was Rule and the guy that works with the Eagles, Duffy, that ended up bringing him on board with Temple football. But he's been with Temple for a while, and he has dreams of being an athletic director one day of Temple University. And that was pretty cool to see the swag coach announce an interesting spin for graphics on social media and all that stuff. But we do appreciate Coach Collins. And, man, he sounds tired. You could already hear the grueling schedule of being a college football coach, but he sounds real genuine. He sounds like someone that enjoys being here. And I know everyone gets into the conversation of, oh, well, how long will he stay? I'm not having that conversation yet. We asked him about it when he first took the job. All right, well, let's enjoy what he does. We'll see what he does. He has a football team that has a chance to win a lot of games. They have a tough schedule. You open up Notre Dame, and I know that's how Matt opened up. That's tough to open up your campaign as a head coach in Notre Dame. Very, very tough. But Notre Dame wasn't that good last year. We'll see what they're able to be this year. But you also got Navy, Houston, USF on the schedule. And we'll see really the state of the AAC. Because that, over the last 2 years, developed into a strong football conference. But there's been so much change where Houston has a new head coach. USF has a new head coach. Cincinnati has a new head coach. Everyone has a new head coach. Navy, I know Kenny Amatulolo is still the coach there. But I'm curious to see how the programs change without the guys that have been there for a long time, the Hermans, the Rules, the Willie Taggarts, how those programs do change. And we'll see it opening day and then also throughout the entire season. Because Geoff Collins, there's still a lot of offensive talent. We'll see who the quarterback is. We'll see how the defense looks. But that's still a team that has a lot of speed and a lot of talent. And I know they lost Phillip. They lost Jihad. They lost Avery. They lost Dion. They lost Hassan. Those guys, they should be okay. I think Temple will be okay. Are they going to be 10 wins, 11 wins? That's tough to do in the first year as a head coach. Should be a team that you definitely think could compete once again for winning the Eastern Division in the AAC, and you have to at least think that there'll be a team that will still be bowl eligible. That's what you have to think, right? That's what I would think. But I'm curious how far the drop-off is in year number one. But I do like Coach Collins. And he has had some familiarity with the program, and he's going to continue to put his own spin on this program, and we'll see what the Geoff Collins era does have in store for us. 609-919-9200.